be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want. On some guy, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get off! In like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back. New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. The day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at them telling me shit is shocking that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist? Oh, I like That Dog the Bounty Hunter video, or the phone message he left, you know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could... This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking, it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about this? This tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never... I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, that's like waddling around me. And all of a sudden, I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof, you know, I got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. And I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Now, more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And he goes, hey, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. And he goes, hey, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, all right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during... You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? And now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with... That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand. Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my... I mean, how she became a senator. She went from being the president. Receivers, it was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything?
Oh, they just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You have to get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No? Yeah, I don't pay attention to shit. I don't know what's going on, right? I feel like that. I mean, I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line. I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line up with their foreign policy than these kids over here. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. How the fuck is war still legal in 2024? Can you, the body shame, I mean, It's like, yeah, it is. I can't get the fucking pizza back. At least I can make him feel bad about himself, right? Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with. You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that?
So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like one time she came up to me, she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay.
Hey, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. Well, think about it. If there's a house face, like he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make like overly religious, it kind of freaks me out, you know? You know what I mean? Like I don't mind when like black people get really into Jesus though, you know? Because like somehow like the shit stays spiritual. You know, you get a couple of good songs out of it. You know what I mean? People look like they're having a good time. Somehow when like white dudes get too into Jesus, all of a sudden like shit catches on fire. People start dying, somebody says they're Jesus, and they try to fuck every chick in the compound. My girl's actually, she's really like religious. She goes to church every week, and I never go, and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you go in there? No, they got too much energy for me. You ever notice that's it? They always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminists, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. Man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point. You know, look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. All right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's going to get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. You know, can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. Sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. Somebody, go ahead. Somebody, explain, justify it. Justify it. What, he cheated on her? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. He cheated on her. Great, the relationship's over right then. Kobe cheated, right? Shouldn't that relationship been over right then? Why did she hang around like some jaded cop for 3 years trying to get her fucking pension? Right, get that 10 years in? Been over right then? Why did she hang around like some jaded cop for 3 years trying to get her fucking pension? Right, get that 10 years in? I don't know, maybe that's too harsh. That shit bothers me, man. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I make them happy. Hey, I buy you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying, you're apologizing, you're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the rope. You feel so dumb, you gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out, it makes you feel stupid, and then you see some bull
Wanted to sneak off and hook up with the black dude. If you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what she did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to?
Every relationship has the person that will take the trash bag out of the trash barrel and do a little, tie it off, and then leave it slumped against the counter like it took two behind the ear and a mob hit. And then there's the person.
No, because then he'll look like an asshole, and then he'll understand why she did it. I'm trying to inflict the most pain here.
Every time I think feminism has kind of like died off, you know, like a band you can't stand. They haven't put out an album in a few years. You're like, oh, good. Did they quit? Did they break up? And all of a sudden they come out with some more shit. You're like, ah, fuck, what is it now? I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me. It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. For the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? I take comfort in like that. For the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women just can't work with each other and make this shit happen. They keep coming to us like, you more men need to care about this issue. In Iraq, you fucking piece of shit. It's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that your brother's not a firefighter. I got a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't see a fucking podiatrist. All right? You're not listening. That's what it became. It went from not listening to women to just believe women, right? And then, you know, and then... Now, you can hug your daughters. You got to do that. You got to do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You got to do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you got to fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. One time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted, I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night at the Tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. And maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do it. Around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? You wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know?
All right. I don't know why that got so flat.
You got one question to ask Don Rickles.
Who killed Kennedy?
You think he knows?
Well, yeah. Well, he hung out with Sinatra. I figure 6 degrees of separation. He probably knows. Yeah, why not? Where's Jimmy Hoffa? I'd ask him one of those. You ask him 3 mob questions. One of them he's got the answer to.
You don't have any kids.
No, I don't. And I don't like the way you said that. Like you said it's very...
Obia man. Obia man. Oh, I see. O-B-E-A-H. God, I'm stupid. What is your favorite Pokemon in Pixar? I don't. I'm too old for that. I have no idea what that is. That's that creepy little yellow thing. There goes ice.
This is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you creep me out with that.
The NHL. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Time out. The NHL is you guys too. So all the owners had to agree with that. And you all had to be like, we gotta like expand this thing.
We thought we'd funnel money into Canada and keep it here, but you guys took it over, like you tend to do. But,
well, I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, you're big on the, yeah.
I mean, that's just business, dude. You're acting like we came and knocked you on the head. You know what we're about?
Wait
a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second.
Is there any specific preparing that you do when you do an urban room, or you just do your regular material?
Yeah, I rent car wash, and I watch. No, it was.
Soul Glow.
Yeah, Soul Glow. I watch that. I make sure I buy a couple of Red Fox albums.
I start talking like this
when I get on stage. You're at your girlfriend. What happens to your dick? Happy holidays. There you go. I'm out of it. Happy holidays. Just go with honesty. This game's easy.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
2
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that.
Move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
You
I
know
want
what
to.
I'm talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
I like it. Thank you
I
for being
came on.
positive.
That kid
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were
watch-
joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you're watching.
When I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
Is that African-American thing?
yeah.
Good. Hey, can you do a shout out for Old?
What is it?
The Old Fart Network.
Oh, the Old Fart Network. Okay. Hey, what's going on, you old...
We are.
What's going on, you old sons of bitches? Turn up your hearing aid. You're watching the Old Fart Channel.
What do you think about, personally?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the big deal was with that guy.
I don't get it. He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff to everybody. What are you talking about?
Did he? Did he sit down and I'm going to invent the iPhone and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have look, tapping into electricity?
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of told people what to invent. He just kind of came in I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert, and he goes out there by himself. No belt, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it.
When you took it out on full and they booed the first guy off stage,
And I went on like 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course. Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own horse shit and come up with it? Start your own fucking show. Have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do shit for you.
Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food when everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah,
And nothing's making you mad? Nothing.
Things upset me. Yes.
Championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. There's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you?
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
You see, Sugar Shea Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right?
Break a man.
They go with their shoes. No, and I love how when you get a divorce, all of a sudden it costs like $50 grand a month to give a kid Fruit Loops. Right? These guys, I'm telling you, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country, and it is just not being addressed. It is just not being addressed. Oh my God.
We recently got a pit bull, which I know a lot of people don't like because they ate a couple of kids. I understand. They're great dogs, unless you're a bad owner. If you're a psycho, which I am, you can mess them up. I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes. No. Like if you're cool, if you're chill, they're chilling. If you're sleeping, they're sleeping. But if you're a psycho like me and you're watching the game on...
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
So what's up with all these white kids now walking around trying to act like they're like gangster rappers with guns? So they're just going, all right, you never had a gun, you want to get yourself a shotgun. It's got a great spread. That's what they keep saying. It's got a great spread. You don't even got to aim it. You got a problem, you just sort of whip around. You get the guy, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I just want to shoot the guy. I don't have to do like a bunch of drywall work. Reframe my diploma. So.
Again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now,
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw my kid, it wasn't, I didn't have like, everybody was like, you're going to burst down crying, you're going to blah, blah, blah. I was like scared of it. Like I was just sitting there like, hey, yeah, buddy, like I didn't want to touch it. And then like afterwards they give it to me and I'm hanging with her for the first time and I'm feeling nothing. And I literally put my head down on the bassinet. I'm going, oh my God, I'm a serial killer. Like I don't feel things.
Fool yourself because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show? He was exhausted from it.
If you had to pick.
Oh, my God. Are you going to go Real Housewives on me here?
Well, I'm saying.
You weren't in the locker room. You don't know what happened. Who did you talk to?
I'm American.
Some other guy who never played professional sports by the water cooler? You don't know what happened.
I heard you have a terrible theory, and I want you to say this. So your theory on Boston is, let's just wait till LeBron's old. You don't want to be aggressive and get players.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
You got misinformation.
What did you say?
Well, why would you say out? Are you good at math? Do you like apples?
Where are you from in Boston?
I lived in a safe suburbs.
Saugus?
Wait, do you really?
I would like to know.
Look how beautiful you are. Look how beautiful. You know how many psychos are out there? I'm not going to tell where I live.
No, I feel like
What's your social security number?
I don't know what it is about Boston, guys, but Bill Burr is the voice of Boston and America. He's common sense. He's smart. He's a great comedian. He was just in The King of Staten Island. It's now available.
I grew up in the suburbs. I'm not as tough as the guys, at least the Boston I remember. You hate Boston. I get it. You hate Boston, and you're. I don't know what your deal is. I don't know what happened to you when you went to Boston. I don't know what happened. Okay, but I am not their representative. I left more than a quarter of a century ago. I'm sorry you went on the Freedom Trail and you didn't get to meet Paul Revere or whatever they promised you. Yeah, I don't pay attention to shit. I don't know what's going on, right? I feel like that. I mean, I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line. I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line up with their foreign policy than these kids over here. And I don't know. I don't know. How the fuck is war still legal in 2024? Can you the body shame? I mean, it's like, yeah, it is. I can't get the fucking pizza back. At least I can make him feel bad about himself. Right? Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with. You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do.
But I had
Jimmy asked the same question, just has a different answer. He gave up the liver.
I gave up the liver. I'm like, they'll be able to figure it out in 20 years, right? I'll be able to. They'll put me up to a machine or something, or Mickey Mantle. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
You gotta shake.
Mickey Mantle's fine.
Yeah. You gotta shake a lot of hands to get up that liver list.
You gotta take it on top of the donor.
You're gonna have to tone down your act, man. If you're gonna need some friends, a couple of senators.
Well, I'm gonna stop making fun of Dr. Oz, and he's gonna get me in. But
seconds, so they just strap you down, and they just go, "Hey, ready? Wait. Okay, do it." You just, and then you come out, and then you have to go into therapy.
I'd much
to deal with that level of pain. You shake for like 3 days, but you just have a cough that would make.
I'd rather get it over with, right? I'd rather just have it be horrible instead of not be like everything happened to me, right? So I started losing my train of thought. That happened. My balls started hurting, and from Propecia, and I'm happy.
That is a depressing chat group. That is not a bunch of guys sort of celebrating life there.
Yeah. You know what's scary though is you type in Propecia and you type in my and just the B of balls, and it just goes balls hurt. Click. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. Look, I mean, what are you trying to do? You're going to try to be on People magazine?
You know what? I'm married and everything. Who cares, right?
Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares? You're right. I'm going to let it go.
Job, we have to get him fixed. I'm like, why do we have to get him fixed? Well, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm like, well, you're not a veterinarian. She's like, well, neither are you. Great, then it's a stalemate. Neither one of us knows what the fuck we're talking about. So let's not start cutting anything off the animal, right? So, of course, she's a female. She's got to go out and prove me wrong. Goes out and gets a book. Okay, look at this. See, it says right here, you get your dog fixed. He's less likely to be aggressive. Okay? Okay? Now, listen. God, you're such an asshole. Just listen. And then it says...
Because she's basically like a $100 million whale just sitting there. No, that's not a fat joke. That's a gambling thing. All right? Get
Not
your
a fat
mind-
joke.
yeah,
That's a
not
gambling
fat
joke.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, she'll make you $100 million. And she's just sitting there on the beach, right? And they got to figure out what is the acceptable amount of time.
Yes.
After somebody drops the N-word or admits to it that you can bring them back on TV to make cookies.
Yeah.
Back on TV to make cookies.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So you're saying she's going to be back
You're saying
on.
she's coming back.
She's making... Dude, Dog the Bounty Hunter. I looked it up. 3 months.
3 months.
He got a 3-month suspension. And within 3 months, he was back on TV. And some of the guys he was chasing were African-American. And nobody had a problem with it. It's a really weird situation.
So what you're saying is they
All
catch
she does is
someone
make
in one of
cookies.
these situations. They say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Everybody says, "We want nothing more to do with you," and then the clock is running.
No, first what happens is people get on. They can't even get it out. What kind of person? I mean, this is right? They do that for like 3 days. And then you have to try and be, I don't know what I was doing. Try to make some cockamamie story up that you're not a psycho. And then you just sit there and you wait for the phone to ring because you know you can make people money. That's all it's about. Like, they should just have a channel for people who screw up, like the help is homophobia.
Right.
Now you put him out on the street, right? He's out there drinking booze, you know? He's probably saying even more homophobic stuff, and everybody's coming by. You know? Just put him on a channel, like the Disgrace channel or something, right? You know? You could have and it's like you're in like the penalty box, and you just stay there. Look, are we at least going to be able to split a cab? Because I wanted to go over and have a drink with you. Right. And I was like, at least be able to split a cab. And then you're like, why? Why do you want to split a cab? Just putting up the roadblock? And that's when I went all in. I said, because I want to kiss you. Bam. Right. Yeah. And then that was it. I didn't fucking talk to you after that. Yeah, you sat there with that little stunned look on your face. Then what happened? Then we walked outside. Really then we walked out. That was the shit. That was one of the greatest. The fucking guys like that used to always get me. I was fucking seducing you, and it worked. Right? Then we hit the fucking red light. Yeah. I put one on you. Bam. Right? Mm-hmm. Couldn't feel your fucking feet. I'm going to make this story last 9 hours long. And then you know what happened? Then I sat back and I was playing Mr. Fucking Cool again like I'm fucking Walt Frazier in 1972. Oh, the callback to the Knicks from an hour ago, right? Then what happened? We stopped again. And
I find out one of them's anorexic. I was like, you know what? All right. That makes me feel better. You know, I'm glad she's not eating. Hope you pass out, whack your head off your golden sink. Just to add to my day. You know, I don't get how the other Olsen twin only weighs half a pound more, but she's fucking fine. No, they're so starving, they're weak. That's why whenever they take a picture of them, hey, man, I'm fucking 36, I'm not married, you know? I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. You know, let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know, isn't anybody looking at the stats? I mean, what's it like? 1 out of 2 marriages goes right down the shitter? People, if you were going skydiving and they told you half the parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Yeah, a lot of work, but, you know, I think when you meet that special someone, there's a connection, and I can't feel my legs. Let me just lean over here. You know, a woman completes a man, and some other metaphor. No, you know what freaks me out too, really? When you go to a man's house, there's nothing in there, a married guy's house. When you walk in there, there's nothing in there that even suggests a man even lives there. It's all potpourri. You're fucking out to lunch. That was my dad. No matter what he was bitching about, somehow he would make it about my mother. It would have nothing to do with her. He could somehow find a connection and spin it back. He'd have been saying, oh, is it raining out? Oh, for Christ's sake, I don't need this shit. Christ, it's the same goddamn thing with your mother. That woman is a fucking cloud hanging over my life. Anytime you got an idea, Christ, she shits all over it. Sandwiches and go to the park? You want to go to the container store, get some containers for your T-shirts? This is the worst one. You ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! You can't say that, right? You got to keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me. She goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go! So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta, like, get in the way of it to give you a head start, like, rabid dog, run, honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick, though. It's kind of like living alone. You know, that same kind of fucked up freedom? You ever feel when you live alone, you, like, slowly go crazy? You know, because you got too much freedom, because everybody does crazy shit. But when you live alone and start doing something crazy, there's nobody there to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? What is that? Put it down. My girl's actually, she's really like, tell you what to eat and when to eat it. Don't eat meat this Friday. If you eat meat this Friday, you are going to hell. It's like, dude, I'm going to a cookout on Friday. If you eat that fucking cheeseburger, buddy, that is it for you. Who is this guy? Dude, I'll eat a cheeseburger whenever I want to, and I'll jerk off. It's my dick. Why am I listening to this guy? I'll fucking jerk off while I eat a cheeseburger. What do you think about that? Way too fucking hard for me, okay? I got off at about 22 exits ago. I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? You just try to play it off like, yeah, we hit a little prom in aisle 8, but, you know, we got some... Wanted the guy to keep hanging on? It's ridiculous. They're, like, wheeling him from room to room, and people are still flipping. Oh, God, I think he's going to die. I think he's going to die. I'm so... It's like, well, I think he's going to go to heaven. I mean, it's got to be better than that shit. I bet the last 2 months of his life, he was just sitting in that chair going, God, I wish the world would stop praying for me. Just fucking let me go. Good Lord. I've been in a bad mood. I kind of have this howdy-doody, kind of mug-me kind of face. I'm not saying something's going to happen. I'm just saying. I'm paying attention. So I've been seeing this girl recently. This black girl, right? She lives up in Harlem, you know. Gone out like 3-4 times, you know. First time we hung out in like the Village area in New York, you know, which is sort of like a racially mixed area. So shit was cool, you know what I mean? Second time we hung out was more like Midtown, you know. Then the third time, she called me at like 3:30 in the morning, and she wanted me to come up.
This completed work under museum glass that is to be admired and studied. Like, how did she do that? And I'm like one of these guys, you know those buildings that just has scaffolding around it for like 6 straight years? So you're like, are they ever going to finish that thing? Is that some sort of insurance job? Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. You should just tear it down and start over again. Yeah. I have a temper. So that's the thing. That's what kind of ruins things. Everything else I do is fine, but I have a fucking temper, and it just ruins shit. And then my wife always says the same. Yeah, I fucking tried all of this shit, you know. Whenever she says that to me, though, I swear to God, I just don't understand. Where is this coming from? It actually hurts my feelings when she says that, you know? Because it makes me feel like she's not listening to me. It's like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the absolute lunatic that you married? Didn't you ever take a psychology class? I'm just standing there like, Afterwards, I ran upstairs to my top bunk. And my dad knew he fucked up, to his credit. He came up, he tried to smooth it over. He's like, all right, come on back down. It's over. Come on down, enjoy the holiday. And I'm like, no, I don't want any kids. I fucking hate you. Right? He eventually coaxed me down, you know. He softened up a little bit. Look, you don't get your fucking ass back downstairs. No one else can open that gift. I'm moving out. I said moving out. I go back downstairs, all shit. She's seen glimpses of the anger, but I'm able to smooth it over really quickly. Like, whoa, Daddy almost snapped his phone in half. But I see it in her face. I can see the way she looks at me. She's starting to put it together like, this dude's a little fucked up, man. This is a little fucked up. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that is to see from a toddler. Much less your own daughter. I'm like, I gotta end this thing, man. This rage, it has to end with me. I can't have an angry kid just walking around fucking kicking toys, fucking bullshit, just being like a lunatic. Meditating, wearing sweaters. I did that for a while. Like if I dressed like a regular guy, I'd be one. I drew a smiley face on a Post-it and stuck it on my dashboard. Like that was gonna help with my road rage. You know, driving down the street like, you motherfucker! I guess I've done that too. Thank you, smiley face. I remember one night I actually considered taking a bath. Because I was gonna call my wife. I was on the road and I was like, I don't want to have a fight with her. I need. There's just no way as a man to take a bath and not think about killing yourself. You know? There's just something about slipping into that coffin-shaped thing. It's like, am I gonna slit my wrist? Am I testifying against the mob? What the fuck am I doing here? I'm a man. I don't take a bath. You take a shower, hose it off, block out your feelings, keep walking till you drop of a heart attack. Literally, as you're going down, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. Not gonna like the results, miss. This is why I'm gonna do it, because if I actually don't have a temper, like, I just think to myself, like, what could my wife complain to me? Like, what could my wife bitch at me about, right? I fucking crush everything. I do. I take out the trash. Okay, the gate was squeaky the other day. I didn't make sure that was done, you know? I pick up after myself. I like to think I'm a good dad. I work my ass off and make a...
All right, tonight's guest is one of the most talented comedians around and my all-time favorite comic. He's an actor. You've seen him on Chappelle's Show, Breaking Bad, and the movie The Heat. I am personally grateful to him because he helped me get this show on the air by appearing on the pilot. Please give a warm welcome to my good friend, Bill Burr, everybody! Bill Burr!
Chair here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, it's your show. You're tall.
Yeah, I know. I
sort
don't
of
want to bring,
average.
but we seem like the same. Like, look in the monitor. That's about right.
I look uncomfortable.
Actually, that was an internet comment I saw that was like, they said, when I see people in high chairs pretending to have like a casual conversation and never addressing the fact that they're in these preposterous high chairs.
There should be a high top bar here with like potato skins. Yeah, you have like that, like, I don't know if it's me, but you're so happy, sometimes it bothers me. It does. It's just like, all right, I get it. The sun is shining. Just take it down a little bit. Like, I get actually anxiety around people as happy as you. It's like,
is that right?
I can't hit the ball back, dude. I can't sustain the rally. You come into the net with your happiness. I'm just like, this is over. He's going to smash it right at me. Cracked. Yeah. And then they just think like, oh, he's like that 24/7, screaming and yelling. And that's not true. I mean, it is definitely a chunk of my day. No, I don't like being angry. I don't want to be that guy. I'd like to be jolly, but it hasn't been in the cards so far. I try to be.
Well, we were going to have you on the first week. We were going to have you on the first week, but then you went and got married.
Yeah.
Which I
finally grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they're walking into. I can't wait. I don't wish this on anybody, but when the gay divorces start coming in, they're really going to step back, I think, being like, what the hell were we wishing for here? You know? I could have sent him a card on his deathbed. I didn't. It really wasn't worth that.
Because they can't.
That was their big thing. I can't go and say goodbye when they're dying. But that's if you make it. But it's literally like, as far as marriage is working, that's like the sperm making it to the egg. The gay dude who's not doing shit is going to get all this stuff and be like, oh, I'm used to a certain lifestyle, right? And then the gay guy who's killing it, he's going to go back to the studio apartment, calling it right now. Calling it right now. It's going to be horrible.
So you're
going to be great. It'll bring straights and gays closer together. Just start like a divorce bar, like all people welcome. And you just compare notes, like what's more horrific? Oh, stronger. You know, they just sort of rest stuff. You guys are taking this really seriously. Like, does he really think that's how gay people break up? I'm just messing around. He introduced me as a comedian, right? Am I gonna have to go on split screen with a blogger tomorrow? Right? Comedy, can it go too far?
We're going to come back with more of Bill Burr. There's no way we're ending this. Billy Burr, our first 2-act interview.
There you go. What are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna come back. Like, how much time? Like, Ted Williams just has his head frozen. That wasn't his choice. Like, how long is that head gonna have to be frozen before they have a cure for having no body? You know? So let's just say they come up with it. A cure. You're gonna be like, I mean, I already have
What's going on here?
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
You know how fucked up this is? He's shrooming and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. Yeah. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no. Not discover you in terms of like, what is it going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Did you guys see the picture of Donald watching his wife vote?
A lot of trust in that relationship.
See if something great has happened to you.
Yeah.
In this case,
the Red Sox won the World Series.
Yeah,
I know. Not.
But then if you like,
I don't do that. I don't go to the posing stadium, wear the other team's.
Oh, you don't
stuff.
You
and
had
then
no Red
turn
Sox.
around and look at the crowd and do that. Whenever I see that, I'm just like, that guy should get the kicked out of him. And like, in a perfect world, that happens. I used to wear stuff, the opposing team stuff, because I moved away from Boston, but I just got sick of it. And it's not even being in the stands. It's when you go to the bathroom. That's the worst. Yeah, some guy knows. Yeah, you go out to the bathroom. They wait till you're doing your thing. And then they push in they take out their childhood on you, and you got this bullseye on your head, and it's just like, why am I doing? What am I, Steven Seagal? I'm gonna fight all these guys with my out. He made that movie, right? I think he made a movie like that. So I'm just like, I am a very courteous fan.
So if somebody said I had blood in my stool, they don't actually see blood; they see it's black.
Right. So the higher up in your GI,
wait,
the blacker.
Wait, it's black.
Right. So the higher up in your GI,
wait,
the blacker
wait,
it is.
what sort of background do you have?
I was a nurse.
Oh, okay. So wow. Because you really came off like I was like. No, this happens a lot on podcasts. All of a sudden, I'm listening to a comedian like telling me how my liver works. I'm just like, Wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right. You know, like when feminists go like, oh, and they have like their missiles, these dick-shaped things, and blah blah blah. And I'm always thinking like, well, there is physics. Wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right. You know, like when feminists go like, oh, and they have like their missiles, these dick-shaped things, and blah blah blah. And I'm always thinking like, well, there is physics and aerodynamics and all that involved. Like if you have it shaped like a twat, I don't think it's gonna make. I don't think it's gonna make it to another country unless you frisbee it, right? And even then, that gap's gonna fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be
gonna fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But the kid was in the fucking building.
Before. Will you shut up? Jesus fucking Christ!
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Thank you. Thank you for
8-foot pool down at the bottom and not clearing your ears. I feel bad for your wife.
You know what? Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing. I don't know about the chain. If it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah, but
it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
He has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck. Around, most looking, they're all banging in the same pool. They're like a bunch of Dalmatians that can talk.
That's right. You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house. And not have, it's like 3 days. They flip out for 3 days. They try to bully you into an apology.
Well, you can't ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
It's a comedy
you know what?
show. Trump's winning New Hampshire. Hillary's winning Virginia.
Really?
And there's a little kid here.
Yeah, somebody decided it was a good idea.
Somebody please take a photo of this Last Supper.
That's how you end it.
There we go, right?
Yeah. I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know. I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
If I could work with anybody dead or alive, I'd want to work. Greatest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. Served me well. I've never worked for anything. I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do. I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. It's like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun is.
See you tomorrow.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
It was really, you relate to adults differently, people that you knew forever. And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid goes, you don't get it, man. You don't get it till you have. And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog. Get it till you have. And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense. I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheeler.